All right, let's see if this works.
Okay.
Technology is fun.
I think
it has a little thingy.
I see a little eye. All right, let's give it a couple seconds.
I bet that means it's working.
Here we go. Here we go. We do have it. We do have it. Hold on.
Are we on? Yes, we're on. Okay, perfect. Okay, bye.
We did it. Like Dora the Explorer.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right. Hi, everybody.
Technology is fun.
Sorry for the technical difficulties this morning.
Here we go. All right, guys. Well, we've got one viewer. That's good. At least that's what I see. That's good. Hey, guys. We are officially June 1st, 2021, halfway through the year. Of course, what every real estate agent does is we take a look at our goals to see where we're at. And I want this one to be a little bit more interactive with everybody. I want to hear from other people on if they're hitting their goals and if they're not hitting their goals. Another thing that I kind of don't want to hit on is if you don't want to share your goals, that is completely fine. There is no pressure. I don't want you guys to think that you have to share your goals because technically that's really not anybody's business but yours, really, you know? So I'm going to go into the first question with Angela and Jessica. And just so you guys know, Lindsay's not with us. Obviously, she's on vacation with her family, enjoying her family. So I'm just going to start off. So girls, where are you at with your goals? Again, you don't have to tell us exactly what those goals are, but where are you at? Are you comfortable? What's going on?
Well, I've kind of met all my goals that I had for the year already. So now I'm in the process of redoing all of my goals and setting new expectations and new goals for myself. So my goals are not typically monetary. They're more experience driven. So it's a little bit harder to quantify them, but taking more time and spending more time with my family is a big goal of mine. And so that's what I'm doing for the next 6 weeks, basically, is I'm going on vacations with my kids and my husband and our family and our friends. So once I get back from that, then I'll reset my work goals. But for right now, I'm not really focusing on work. So I'm a little burnt out. I don't know if anybody else is, but when you cram that much stuff into the first half of the year, that's going to probably happen. So I overloaded myself basically and reached all my goals, which I understand that's like a first world problem. But, finally getting through that and accomplishing that, now I have to challenge myself again and realign what I really want to do for the rest of the year and how do I set up new systems and that kind of thing. So that's where I'm kind of at right now.
Okay. Jessica?
So I decided to be totally like authentic and not look. I actually don't know where I'm at goal-wise. Like I have no idea. I could probably figure it out really fast, but I don't know. I came off of 2020, probably like everyone else. I was burned out emotionally, mentally, physically. I just didn't feel well. And I really have slowed down considerably. And a lot of that is by choice. I've got some other things that I want to focus on this year. And I just felt like I wasn't really like my best self and I wasn't helping people the way that I normally do and the way that I want to. So the best way for me to get back to that was to take a step back and go, do I really need to run at 1,000,000 miles an hour all the time? The answer is no. And so I think my goal has been more to just live life again and to not feel so overwhelmed and burdened all the time and just feel like I'm constantly. So if that's the goal, then I think I've kind of hit the goal, right? So that's cool. And as far as numbers go, I don't know.
See, I want everybody, I knew both your answers were going to be along that line. And I want this to be an example for the rest of this episode. I want the people who are watching it now to listen to what they just said. It's not about chasing numbers. And before we got on this episode, Jessica made a really good point. She doesn't go off of volume and she doesn't go off of transactions. She goes off of your bills. And my team and I actually did that a couple of years ago. We were in a rut in 2019. We were always chasing the transaction goal. We were always chasing the volume goal. It was constantly, I got to hit these numbers. I got to hit these numbers. And I ran into the ground with that. And I stepped back and I said, okay, we need to stop chasing transactions and we need to stop chasing volume. We need to set where our bills need to be paid, what bills we need to get rid of, and see what that does. And I will tell you that once we started going off of what our bills goals was, less stress was lifted off of my shoulders. We're to the point now where if we sell a certain amount, and I know that sounds like we have to hit that goal because we kind of do, once we hit a certain amount every month or every year, we're fine. The rest of the money goes into the bank account and we're good. We set that goal super low. So just to kind of go into a little deep with my team, if my team and I sell $12 million in volume every year, that sounds super low, right, guys? 12 million, super low. But here's the thing. If we sell 12 million a year, I'm living a fat lifestyle, my bills are paid, and I'm buying investment properties. We got to a point where our bills are so low that we really don't have to chase numbers. And I want to really get that across to everybody, that just because you're selling a lot of real estate doesn't mean that you have to pack on the bills. Your bills and your regular necessities need to be paid and then go on from there. So I know you guys have said that you're like laying back a little bit and you're focusing on yourself, which is a goal in itself. But tell me, at the beginning of the year, when you guys were thinking about 2021, how did you set your goals and what were you doing monthly to hit those goals?
Do you want to go first, Jess?
It doesn't matter, but yeah, for me, gosh, you guys, I'm sorry, I keep clearing my throat. For us, I always do a GCI goal, where I know this is the amount of money we have to make and these are the things that I have to do in order to hit that goal. So I am almost 100% referral based at this point. And so when I sit down and I set, this year, I think obviously for all of us was very different. Like I know Angela does a lot of client events. I know Lindsay does also. There are different components of our business that were severely impacted due to COVID. And so sitting down at the, end of 2020, segueing into 2021, it was really hard to set goals, to be totally honest. And it was, am I allowed to do these things? Can I do these things? I don't know the answer. So I went ahead and pivoted my entire business again for 2021 and kept everything as much to a virtual and not face-to-face interaction as possible. And to be honest with everybody, I actually am to a point where that's working better. It's easier for me to streamline. I feel like I'm doing more than I was doing before because I have more time in the day to get more stuff done because I'm not doing as much face-to-face stuff. On the back half of this year, I do think I am going to go back to revving up some of my in-person stuff and going back to seeing more people as people become more comfortable hugging and leaving the house and all the things, right? So at the beginning of the year, that's really what the struggle was for me, was to figure out like, I have to move my business again. And it was daunting to me and it was exhausting to me to have to go back through this because we were still living in a world of I don't know. So I don't know, like to answer the question, I guess like I was just tired. Like, I don't even know if I really sat down and really did anything specific other than just pivoted everything that I've always done to more of an online platform.
Okay.
Yeah. And I kind of pulled back on the buyer side of things. I decided that I wanted to focus my energy more on listings and helping my sellers get top dollar for their house. And so that's where I focused all my energy. And I leveraged a lot of things. So I now have somebody in charge of all of my flips. And then I have somebody in charge of all of my buyers. So I just freed up to be able to do what I really wanted to do and what I was really good at. And so that's kind of what my goal was to help leverage myself better than I had before, because I mean, we're all kind of similar. Like it's hard for us to delegate, right? And so doing that was like a big step for me. So that was like a huge goal of mine. And because I did that, then I could spend my time doing what I really wanted to be doing. And so now I get to, you know, sell houses and list houses and stage them. And that's kind of my focus. And obviously my house prices have gone up quite a bit because our market across the country is totally changed, right? So I don't have to sell as many houses to reach that GCI goal that I had previously. So, I mean, I did have a goal this year, personally, of just doing $20 million of sales. And because our prices basically almost doubled on what my average was over last year, it was a lot easier to hit that. So now I have to go back and say, okay, my goals are based more on what percentage over expectation am I able to get my clients, you know, as an extra return on their investment when I list their house. That's my goal, is to see if I can get, you know, an extra 10% over what I promised. That's how my goals are shifting. I think probably more, you know, than they might have before. Like I said, it's not really the numbers or the sales themselves. It's how do I get more percentage for my clients? How do I leverage that extra income to my sellers? So that's what I'm focusing on.
So Shawnee, I'm so glad that she just made this comment. It's super, I totally feel it. She says, I had to make a strict budget, redo my entire life. Angela made my new life possible, 100% 2021. So I kind of feel Shawnee, because back in 2019, my team and I kind of crashed and we had to redo our entire life. We had to redo our entire team. And that's where we came up with, okay, this is the budget we need to live on. This is the budget we need to run our team on. We need to sell 12 million a year in order to hit that. So it sounds like Shawnee reevaluated her life and reevaluated her bills and took out all the crap bills. And now she knows what she needs to live on and what numbers she needs to hit without having to be stressful. I don't know. That's at least what I got from it, Angela. I mean, Angela, obviously you know her better than us. So yes, no?
I do. I was at her house yesterday.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, she's one of my clients, and we were able to sell her previous house for quite a bit of a profit over what she bought it for a year prior to that, and that allowed her to be able to buy a house that's probably a much better fit for her and her family. So,
cool.
So that was a really cool thing to be able to do, and that was one of my first couple of flips that I did actually that we took care of. So cool. That was super fun.
So I don't know about you girls, but I feel like where we are at in our careers, being in it for so long and having the referral base and the past client base, it's true to say that we really don't need to pick up the phone to find business, correct? I mean, that sounds kind of arrogant to say that, but we literally do not need to pick up the phone to find business. It literally just comes to us because of all the hard work that we've done in the last 5 to 10 years, correct? I mean, am I correct on that? So I know there's people listening right now that are like, well, girls are established. They don't have to pick up the phone. They don't have to, they don't have to write letters. Well, I do have to back up a little bit on my goals. So at the beginning of the year, I do set goals. There are personal goals I do want to hit every month. And when I'm getting towards the mid of every month, towards the 15th of every month, and I'm not hitting the goals for the next month, I'm freaking out a little bit. So I will say that even though our entire business is past clients and referrals, I am still picking up the phone, guys. If I haven't hit my goals for the next month in under contracts or listings or buyers, I'm picking up the phone and I'm trying to find those. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. That's just the fight in me, I guess. So I will call expireds. I will call for sale by owners. I will call past clients. I will go onto my business Facebook page and I'll try and find business. So I don't want people listening right now who are newbies or have just been in it a couple of years who don't have that referral base. Look at us like we don't pick up the phone, because there are times when we do pick up the phone to try and find more business. Go ahead.
But I think that's one of the things I love the most about the four of us is none of us are above anything, right? Like we have achieved a certain level of success, from the outsider looking in, it probably looks fairly easy to them with what we do. The reality of it is like we fail every day. The difference is we keep moving forward and we pivot and we figure out what we need to do to get more business and what we need to do. Or we might say, I don't want to this month. And that's okay too. And we might go enjoy our life for the next 2 weeks, and then July 1st hits and we're back at it. Like whatever that looks like, but everybody can do that. You're never above anything in this business ever.
Correct. So it kind of leads me into the next half of 2021. I know us girls have most likely just hit our goals already for the year. Oh, we're trying to take it in. What would you tell outsiders looking in who haven't hit their goals, who are feeling the lack of inventory, who mostly deal with buyers who can't find their buyers a house? What would you tell them to keep them going and excited about the rest of 2021? What would you tell them?
This is Angela's the motivational speaker when it comes to this kind of stuff.
What? I don't know about that. I would say, you have to have the same habits that you have all year long, and you're going to be okay. But it's when you stop doing those things that you're going to have a slowdown. Or if you revert to a bad habit, that's going to cause you to have a little bit of stress or some downtime or something within your business. Some of it might be, like for me, it's on purpose, it's by choice. But if I wasn't hitting my goals and I knew that I needed to get to X amount of dollars, nothing motivates me quite like, knowing that if I don't do my job, something else won't happen for my family. So I'm motivated by making sure that my family has what they need. And I would wait tables if I had to. I would find any source of referrals that I possibly could. I would start Facebook pages immediately. If I hadn't already, I'd start doing some yard sales. We have a couple of agents in our office that are doing those now that they look like they're starting to pick up some traction to get some clients interested. I'll tell you, I had a yard sale this past weekend and it was bonkers. There were so many people out there. I had a lady walk up to me and ask if she could buy my house for $800,000, which I was like, first of all, you're crazy. You haven't even seen the inside of my house. Second of all, I can't sell my house because I don't know where I would go because I need to be within 5 miles of a Chick-fil-A. So like it's a crazy market. So it occurred to me that that's a pretty good indicator if somebody's selling their stuff that they might be selling their house. So if you just drive around and look and see what yard sales are out there, you can at least walk up, introduce yourself, buy a trinket, whatever, and see if they have an agent yet, or if they're looking to sell, or if they're downsizing, whatever it is. That might be a quick and easy way to get some extra clients, or at least get people into your sphere. But I think that typically when I do pop buys and I have some kind of marketing initiative to my clients, I will always get at least 1 or 2 clients from it immediately. And so that's usually something that's my go-to, that if I haven't been doing what I was supposed to be doing and doing my quarterly pop buys, the second I do one, I immediately, almost by chance, right, get clients right away, like at least 2 to 3 listings or buyers. So that's a really easy way to get business. But again, it's hard when you're maybe not hitting your goals or you don't have that extra cash to be able to do those things. It's really important that you figure out a way to do it though. Go to your broker, go to anybody, a business partner, investors. Investors right now are looking to invest in anything real estate related. So if you need some money to do some pop buys, reach out to some of your investors and say, hey, if I can borrow 10 grand, I need this to get me through the rest of the year. I'll pay you back 12 grand next year, whatever it is. So that you can get your business kickstarted. But you need to have a little bit of money to make some money. At my brokerage, I typically, help my agents by paying for some of those things for them. But you can ask anybody, to help invest in you and your business so that you can get it kickstarted and get it going. But I guarantee you, if you do those marketing initiatives and you're out there and you're showing that you're actually working hard, that's what people want. They want to work with people that want to work hard because all they're seeing right now is defeated agents left and right, not getting houses under contract. So do people want to work with agents that are constantly posting that they can't get houses under contract? I wouldn't think so, right? I would be careful what you post out there. It's one thing to be defeated, it's another thing to post it publicly because your clients are going to be looking at that. And potential clients are going to be looking at that. And they want to work with agents that are getting clients under contract on the buyer side and listing agents that are getting, houses listed and under contract for top dollar. They don't just want somebody that's going to sell it fast. They want somebody that's going to take time and get a really good offer and sell it for top dollar instead of, 5 hours on the market. They can wait 8 or 9 hours on the market. think about what you're putting out there on social media and make sure that what you're putting out is really good content. So that's my 2 cents.
I'm a firm believer that a body in motion is always going to bring stuff into your world. So even if you feel like you're not doing anything, that momentum is building, whether you feel it right now or you don't. So I don't care. Like, I get on Facebook the first day of the month and I go through my friends list and I find everybody who has a birthday, and I sit down so today I will sit down and I will go through and find everybody who has a birthday this month, and I'll write a handwritten birthday card. Seems really silly, right? It's me reaching out. It's me saying, I'm here. I love you. I care about you. I acknowledge you. Just those small little things, just putting it out into the world that you're here and you care and you acknowledge people, that brings a lot into your world. And I think that we don't talk about enough that, like, those small things lead to the bigger things. Just go do something. Go do anything. Anything at all will start to put your business back in motion. My other biggest piece of advice, back in 2019, I was in a really stagnant place and I got an accountability partner. My friend Carissa down in Texas was my accountability partner. We showed up every Monday morning. We got on a call. Sometimes it was an hour, sometimes it was 10 minutes. We checked in. We knew each other's numbers. Her numbers were on my board. My numbers were on her board. We were each other's biggest cheerleaders. We were each other's biggest support system. Her ideas I used, she used some of my ideas, and we basically built a business together and supported one another, but we were apart. Well, I think that if you're in a place right now where you're feeling stagnant or you feel like you need help getting momentum, you don't have the money for a coach, that's fine. Go find an amazing person in the real estate industry. Go have them be your accountability partner. You will learn so much from that person and you'll be able to give back to, and that feels really good as well. So go find an accountability partner to help you get back on track.
I agree with that. Another thing too, Jessica kind of gave me a little bit of a light bulb. I do this, but I don't realize that I do this. So when I'm in a rut and I know that I don't have income coming in for the next month, or I haven't hit my goals for the upcoming month, guys, I go and I work out. I know that sounds really crazy, but I don't want to sit on my bed in my room eating a bag of chips, you know, sulting over the fact that I don't have any income for the next month. You got to be busy. You got to figure it out. Go work out, get up, go work out in the morning, eat a healthy breakfast, pick up the phone, start calling your family members, start calling past clients, get on Facebook and see if maybe you could host an event or go to events. I know that events are starting to open back up. Go to the gym and start handing out your business card. I'm a true believer of what you focus on expands. And if, as a realtor, you need to be out in the world, you need to be social, you need to go to the gym, you need to go to those social events, you need to go out to restaurants, you need to go sit at the bar, you need to go for a walk around your neighborhood and say hi to your neighbors. Just the little simple things like that will get you business. Don't get a negative mindset. Don't sit in your room with a bag of chips and cry that you don't have any income for the next month. Figure it out. And it's the little simple things of joining a gym, joining a mom group, joining a dad group. Like, seriously, go figure out what you can join and what you can participate in and get your name out there. That's my biggest thing, is staying healthy myself and trying to stay on track healthy wise. And then I put business on there. But for the buyer's agents out there, I know I'm saying buyer's agents, but you're in a rut right now. I could totally feel it. I could see it, because you're in the same boat as every other agent out there. You've got 4 buyers that need houses, and every house that you put an offer on, you're not going under contract. That for me is a rut right now, because I have buyers, and I'm not going to lie. I will sit there and be like, I'm never going to find my buyer a house. Like, you can't have that attitude.
I've put 2 buyers under contract on off-market properties.
See?
And that's become like my new challenge. And it comes back to what you focus on expands, right? Like, if you're a buyer's agent right now and you're sitting there going, I have all these effing buyers and I can't get them into a house. What do you think is going to continue to happen? You're going to continue to get all these effing buyers who you can't get under contract, right? Go find a house for them. There are people out there right now. I have 2 clients under contract, off-market properties. The seller didn't want to deal with the barrage of showings. They didn't want to deal with the chaos. They didn't want to deal with it. We came up with a really great price, that felt good for both parties, and they're not paying as much in commission. So it feels like a win all the way across the board. Do you know what that does? Other people start talking. I've had 3 other listing appointments since then because I was able to help them. So now they've said, call her, she helped us, right? Go find other ways to get your buyers into properties right now. And maybe it'll even lead to more listings. Like, so change your mindset around the way you're looking at your buyers, and your mindset will change. Like, that's the truth.
So if we're halfway through the year, and if the first half of the year you've been running after houses and pulling out those strings to try and get your buyer under contract, change it up. It's June 1st. We got 6 more months to go until the end of the year. Change it up. Start knocking on doors. Call your title company and figure out if you can get phone numbers for those houses in that neighborhood. Start calling those people. Do a direct Facebook post towards that neighborhood that your buyer wants to be in, and see maybe one of those people live in that area, and you can grab that listing and your buyer can go under contract. Think outside the box right now, because what you've been doing the first half of the year obviously isn't working because you're not hitting your goals and you're running, scrambling, trying to find your buyers' houses. So change it up a little bit. Go outside the box for the next half of the year. If you haven't done that, I want to follow up with you guys at the end of the year. If you guys haven't circle called a neighborhood or door knocked a neighborhood or held an event in that neighborhood, do it for the next 6 months, and then let's follow up at the end of the year and see what happens. Let's see if you've gotten any deals out of it. Then we can go from there.
My business too is always.
Sorry, I was going to say real quick. It's really important too that if you have some downtime, that you network with other realtors too. So if you're having problems getting your buyers under contract, maybe go reach out to some other listing agents that might have listings in that neighborhood that your clients are looking in, and try to build a relationship with them, because it might be the difference between your offer getting accepted and somebody else's offer getting accepted. It's a really small thing that you can do, but it makes a huge impact. So I would try that too.
Another thing that I'm going to start doing, that I've kind of seen what my past clients are doing, is I've had a couple of past clients within the last 3 years who bought their house 3 years ago. And now 3 years later, they have so much equity in their house, they want to sell and potentially downsize or move to another city. That same person could be on that same block, could be in that same neighborhood. Call around in that neighborhood and say, hey, I noticed that you bought your house 3 years ago. You've got some equity now. Have you decided of maybe selling and going back to that family out back to California or whatever? You never know. It takes that one phone call, that one door knock, that one event. It could happen. So it kind of brings me up to the way, I know we're talking about goals, and we're talking about how we're going to hit our goals for the rest of 2021. But one question that I really, really am curious is, yes, this market is throwing money around like nobody's business. People are making lots of money. Bank accounts are looking pretty fat. But this is a one-in-a-lifetime market, guys. Let's be real. We're not going to see this market again. So yes, average sale prices are going up, which means more money in realtors' pockets, which means time for investing. My question to you girls is, because this has opened up my mind a lot this year, I don't think these prices are going to stay for a very long time. I think we're going to see a dip here in the next couple of years. Who knows? We might see it in the next couple of months. We might see it in a year. We might see it in 10 years. Who knows? But what comes up must come down. So my question to you girls is what are you preparing for now to prepare for the future when the market starts to go down? What are you doing?
So, we all know I'm trying to get my husband to quit his job, and I'm totally going to put him on blast right now because I feel like peer pressure is the way to go. So I really want my husband to quit his job because I'm like, I can't physically take on anything else, right? And so to me, we have a really great opportunity now. We've got savings in the bank. Our bills, like everything is almost paid off. Like we don't have a ton of monthly bills. And so to me, I'm like, now is the best time. Quit your job. let's go build some other shit, right? Like, let's go build another business. Let's go buy investment properties. Let's go buy a VRBO somewhere. So that's where my mindset is at, is I would love to take on more. I can't right now. And that is just the truth. And there's nobody I'd rather do it with than him. So like, your job and come play. Yeah.
All right, guys, everybody that's listening, you need to call Ian right now and blow up his phone.
Quit his job. But that's, so my mindset is very much like that right now, right? Where I am in build mode. I have built a relatively successful real estate business, and now I want to go take everything that I've learned and I want to go build other stuff. And I want to go do other things with all of the lessons I've learned the last 8 years. And I might fail, and that's cool, but at least I'm trying. And I want to set us up so when the market does dip, or my kids go away to college and I, an empty nester, I can go do whatever I want to do. So I am very much in that place right now of what can we do right now to get us to where we want to go. So when the market changes again, we're prepared, we're ready, we're happy, we're healthy, we're wealthy, right?
Yes.
That's it.
Angela? Uh-oh, you're muted.
Sorry. So I've recently started a couple of businesses. So I happen to already have 4 other businesses in play. Some of them are related to real estate, some not. But getting them up to the same level that my brokerage is at is one of my goals for the rest of the year, to put people in place to run that side of the business too. But once I do that, I'll be really bored because I like to do 9,000 things at once and be physically exhausted by the end of the day, which I have been for probably, 10 years now. But
that's just our permanent state now, Angela. We're pushing 40.
I know. We're not as old as, or we're not as young as we used to be. So we have to be careful what we do. But I'm trying to set that stuff up so that I can do that anywhere in the world, because I don't really want to be stuck in one place for the rest of my life. I want to be able to move and do things anywhere in the country. And I know Jess and I have talked quite a bit about kind of diversifying and maybe getting an investment property in a place that we want to go vacation, and then starting up another company there, where we would set up VRBOs and Airbnbs and stage them and design them and do construction and all of that stuff. The same thing we're doing here, just doing it somewhere else. So that's kind of, on our radar for what we're doing. And just teaching other people how to do what we're doing is something that I really get a lot of enjoyment out of. So watching, my agents at my brokerage, implementing the cool things that we're teaching is huge for me. And I get a ton of value out of that. So I will continue to, keep training and training other agents, even in my market. I don't care. Because I think that there's a ton of value to be added that way for me personally. And I think eventually in the next 6 months, I think us as homegirls are probably going to have another business that starts, and it's probably going to involve us doing quite a bit of training of other agents and doing some really cool things. So I'm excited to see what that all looks like. So I assume there's a pretty big market for that. I think people are kind of wondering, if they can get the insider info, exactly what we're doing. So training everybody doing that, I think, is going to be kind of a cool thing.
Cool.
But yeah, so that's on my agenda. But yeah, I just had some lifestyle photos taken the other day. So for all of my other businesses. So it's been really interesting to see that. So I'm about to launch my charcuterie business. So making grazing tables and stuff. So that'll be happening here in the next probably 2 weeks whenever I get those photos back. So that'll be exciting for me to have a legitimate business out of something that just kind of started from nothing. And it was just a fun thing to do because I do a lot of design anyway, just doing design with food. So I was able to move into that market and kind of take over here. I mean, I've been super busy with graduations doing that, not just selling homes, to the point where, we can almost pay our bills with what we make on fruit and vegetables. I mean, that's kind of a big deal, So I'm trying to see where that goes.
Nice. So Eric and I have been talking the last couple of months. We have 4 investment properties right now, along with a property management company, and then our sales side. And we have been kind of throwing around the idea of selling 2 of our investment properties, because I'm going off the rule of sell high, buy low. So if we sell 2 of our investment properties, we will be able to pay off every single flipping bill that we ever had, including our personal house. So if we're able to sell those two properties, take the equity from them, pay off our personal residence, pay off our cars, pay off some stupid credit card debt, we will be eventually debt free in the next couple of months. We've been kind of throwing that around. And that brings it to my point of, yes, the market's super high right now. If the market was to ever crash, we have a house that we don't have to make a house payment in. We've got two other investment properties that can pay, our taxes and insurance and to live every month if the market is to crash. So not only are we preparing for the end of the year, but we also need to prepare for what if. So every month we know that if I don't sell a house next month, we do know that our bills are paid because we have a property management company. We've got investment properties, but we're to the point now where this market can't keep just going up like it is. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Maybe I'm completely wrong and we just keep going up for the next 5 years. But we want to get to a point where we just want to pay absolutely everything off. And if that takes sacrificing 2 rental properties, then so be it, because we can always buy more rental properties and we can always do other stuff as well. So, yes, I like this. What are you struggling with? What can we help you guys with? We've got, on my end, I'm seeing about 8 people watching us right now. So speak up. Let us know what your goals are. Let us know what you're struggling with. Let us know. No? Nobody? No?
They got to type faster. So what kinds of things, I know we touched on like what people can do if they don't hit their goals, but what are some things that we're going to be doing starting today, basically bringing us through the end of the year? What are some like marketing things that might be doing that might be a little bit different than everybody else might be seeing? Tristan, is there anything that you guys have on your calendar for marketing through the end of the year that you guys are going to be doing to your clients?
No, and I'm actually glad that you brought that up, because it's been on my mind the last couple of weeks that this year has kind of been such a whirlwind with COVID and the market being so crazy that I haven't really done anything for our past clients. And I was just thinking about this the other day, and I haven't thought of anything. And I know you two girls are so good about pop buys and stuff. So I was actually going to get with one of you and talk about a July pop buy, because I know you guys are like super good about that, but I don't have anything and I probably should.
I mean, I feel like because it seems like in Colorado Springs anyway, that like the COVID is gone. Like people are no longer wearing masks here and they want to be outside, they want to be together. So something that I came up with last week that I was talking to my agents about is, why don't we do like an initiative to give away a really awesome grill and figure out a way to, get our clients to provide us with more leads. In exchange, we enter them to win the grill. But I think that we're going to have a lot of people trying to be out and about. Like if anybody's been out this past weekend, everyone and their brother was out at restaurants, at shopping. Like it was crazy. I've never seen people out trying to spend their money at the same time. To stimulate the economy again. I think, they're tired of being locked up inside. So anything that you can do to help people get outside of their house and, communicate with people again and get their kids out of their hair for the summer. I think anything that you can do to solve that problem for people, you're going to be in a really good place business-wise with more leads than you could possibly imagine. So right now I'm trying to figure out exactly how to solve that and what to do. Because obviously this year is totally different than any other year that we've ever had. So it's a little different on what tactics we might use to get in front of people better. So just what are you guys thinking about doing? I mean, 4th of July is coming up next month, obviously. So I know you guys put out your flags and stuff, right?
Yeah, so obviously I do the flags in my neighborhood. And this year it's really cool. I've got a couple of veterans who asked if they could come help do it. So I'll do that with them. My entire premise of my business has always been the more people you know, the more people you know. So I'm ramping up activities here in my farm. We're doing a summer splash event this year and a movie night. So those 2 things. And then I run a VIP Facebook group for my past clients and my biggest refers. So I've been running monthly contests in there for them. we just did in Colorado, if you guys have like a ton of people that want to buy state park passes, you get group discounts. I just did that for my neighborhood and for my VIP group. So I've basically been sitting on my, I was telling Angela and Kristen before we got on that I've basically been sitting on my porch, drinking a beer, doing a bold 100 while people come and pick up their park passes. And I've had amazing conversations. I've gotten a ton of friend requests. Like, it's been really cool meeting people in my neighborhood just doing this. And then the other thing, you guys are going to make fun of me. So we all know I got a puppy and I'm a gross dog mom now. So now he's fully vaxxed, so we can go to the dog park now. So I go to the dog park and we have little dog treats that we give out to all the other dogs with my little card on there with my puppy. And that's
of course you do.
Come on, you guys, like everybody loves him and like he's great. So that's kind of been my new one that I've been doing, and I'm meeting other people and like the dog world, like you guys, like they're crazy, right? Like they love their dogs, and so they love people who love dogs.
Yeah.
So that, and then I've got my end of year events planned for December, where I rent out the ice skating rink here in town, and we have Santa come and hot chocolate. So I'm really excited we're going to be able to do my Christmas event again this year, since we haven't been able to. My photographer is going to come and take Santa pictures for everybody. So it's been fun being able to plan some of this stuff because I've really missed everybody. And then my VIP Facebook group, anytime I get a referral, they're entered to win a trip to Cabo. So whether they close or not is irrelevant. A referral is a referral. And so they get entered in every time. And so I've got, 70 something entries halfway through the year. So that's pretty cool. And so that's the stuff that I'm doing to kind of ramp up the latter half of this year. And then maybe I can convince my husband to quit his job because I'm so busy. I need his help. That's really what the goal is.
So when you do your flags, do you ask each homeowner for permission to put it in the ground, or are you just putting it in the ground with your business card and calling it good and walking around?
It's not even. I actually don't put my business card on the flag. I put a card with the Pledge of Allegiance on there. And then at the bottom, it just says courtesy of your neighbor, Jessica Lentz. Like, I don't put anything on there about business because I do think that there is a fine line when we're using the American flag between tacky marketing and authentic marketing. And honestly, when I pull into my neighborhood that week of July 4th and I see the flags like lined up, I just love it. Like, it makes me feel so happy. So I actually don't really use it as more of a marketing tactic as much as I just think it's really cool. Annette has a question for us. Let's see what she has to say. I am a new realtor, but it has been a year like no other. I'm in a mentorship program now and just love to learn. Oh, hi, Annette. And she's in, I think she's in a mentorship program at my old office, if I'm not mistaken. But we're glad you come on. I think she's been on every week that we've been live now. So that's really cool. Thanks for joining us.
Yay.
So Kristen, what are you guys going to do?
For the rest of the year. So we've actually had I don't want to say this, but I'm going to. So before COVID hit, we were going to rent out the movie theaters, a private movie, for the Top Gun premiere.
You can do it for $99 right now, right?
Yeah. So we were going to do it for the Top Gun premiere, and then COVID hit and we couldn't do it anymore. So we were going to do that for our past clients. But the next half of the year, my goal is to be more purposeful with pop buys. So I really want to do a July thing. I really want to do something for school. I really want to do something for Christmas and Thanksgiving. And then obviously we would still like to do that Top Gun thing, but I don't even know when the premiere is. I haven't even heard if they've moved it or what. So those are my things that I want to kind of change up a little bit, because I've never done that. I've never done pop buys, guys, ever. I've never done a pop buy. I've never done any of that. So I kind of want to go out of my comfort zone for the rest of the year and kind of see if I could do that.
Can I give you my 2 cents on the extra mile on pop buys? Sure. If you have some kind of a call to action for people to do after you drop them off a pop buy, your success rate will go up exponentially. So it's not just a, hey, I dropped something by, but hey, I dropped something by. And if you were to, do this task or send me a picture of you doing this or whatever, you enjoying the thing that I dropped by, we're going to enter you in to win something. Ooh. Something that they have to share on their social media or tag you in will always be a lot better than just dropping something by. So just so you know, that might get you a little bit of extra momentum on that, because a lot of realtors have stopped popping by, have stopped marketing to buyers because they don't want buyers right now. So if you do what everybody else is not doing and market to, you know, buyers, not just sellers, I think you're probably going to start seeing a huge return on that. And especially for newer agents, that's a really great way to grow your book of business, is to, you know, help buyers get into homes, because eventually they're going to need to sell those homes. Then you have a seller, right? So you got to start somewhere. So make sure you have a call to action on your pop by, and do something that's actually meaningful instead of dropping by ketchup, mustard, and relish. Like, nothing says I don't really give a shit about my clients like ketchup, mustard, and relish. And
if you leave a relish on my porch, it better be dill.
Right. But at least put a little thought into it. Like, don't just like go out tonight and go buy all your pop buys for the next like 6 months. Like, think about it and think about what your call to action should be. I never go with cheesy. I go with genuine, and that seems to work really well for me. You know, so something that not everyone else is doing is probably a good thing, because there's 8,000 people sending people seeds. Like,
I should do waterproof fanny packs with my logo on it for the summer. Like, I'm kidding. That's how can you can't get any more Jessica Lenz than a fanny pack.
Good luck.
And also, the movie comes out November 19th.
Another thing that I want to touch on really quick, I know we're talking about goals and everything, but I want to kind of go to the personal side right before we get off here. I just want to talk about mental health and what we have gone through the last 2 years, especially as realtors, especially as the single parent as a realtor. Let's talk about our mental health for the rest of the year as well too. This business is very stressful. This business is very hard. People don't understand that. People don't understand the weight that realtors have with other people in this business. So I want to know what you guys are doing mentally to calm yourself, to zen yourself. What are you guys doing mentally to stay stable?
I would say the number one thing for me is having you guys, having somebody else to talk to, and having like a sounding board for whatever bullshit I have going on in my life. Like, get yourself a crew. Like, you need other realtors or other people around you to help you level up. Otherwise, you're going to stay stagnant, and they're just going to, like, if you are around people that are just going to constantly like tell you like the sky is falling, like this sucks, go work at Kohl's, like, you're probably not going to be successful. Like, you have to work with people who help you.
Bullshit.
Yeah. You know, like, you want to surround yourself with those people. So that right there is a huge thing, and that helps me all the time. And I would say too, like, get away, turn off your phone for a few hours even. Like, I wish I could take my own advice, honestly. Like, I suck at that. Like, I'm terrible at it. Like, I think about doing it all the time, and then I just don't do it. I would love to turn off my phone for a weekend. So we're going to go to a place that doesn't have cell phone service because I can't be responsible, which I might have a panic attack about, but we'll see. But genuinely getting away from this business, it will refresh you so much. And God forbid you tell people you're getting away from this business, because the second you tell people you're getting away from this business for a week and going on vacation, your phone won't stop ringing. Because that's apparently a great lead source, is saying, hey, I'm not going to be available for a week. Well, now 9,000 people all need you at the same time. But getting away and doing those things and doing fun things and showing people what you're doing, I think is a huge way for you to grow your business and to at least recharging and come back refreshed. Every time I come back from vacation, I'm 10 times more successful because I've had some time to reflect and just get away. And normally when I'm on vacation, I'm not just relaxing. I'm thinking of other ways to change my systems, or other ideas I have, like to grow the business in a different way, or things that I might not have remembered. I just get more clarity when I'm away. So I would try that, even if it's for a couple hours or a day or two or whatever. Just go camping or get out of town for a day.
Right.
And just recharge.
Right. Jess?
So this year's been hard. I think anybody who's listened knows that I lost my broker and good friend back in February. And it really, really, really has changed my perspective on a lot. And unfortunately, like Gabe used to say to me all the time, what's the point of making all this money if you're stressed out and you're unhappy and you're crying? And I used to get so mad at him. And and anybody who's listened also knows that I struggle with anxiety. And I used to get so mad at him. And I was like, why are you okay with mediocrity, right? Like, because to me, being busy and making all this money and being on the lists and doing, that was what was important. And really, he was trying to get me to understand that life is so much bigger than that. And so in his death, I hear all of these things that he used to say to me. And I hear all of the stuff that I used to get so fucking mad at him for. Right? And it's true. So what this last year, so for me, dealing with anxiety and this constant competition with myself and knowing that I have all these weird traits about me and the OCD, you guys know. I have at night, my phone goes off at 8 now. I don't answer text messages unless they're my friends who are bringing me joy right now in this moment, right? I've been back to reading books. I started reading again at night. So rather than sitting and scrolling Facebook or mindless bullshit, I started reading books again that make me feel happy, that make me feel motivated, that make me feel like there's more to life than just this constant hamster wheel. I don't get on Facebook in the morning until I've been awake for an hour. I've been making my bed in the morning. I've been working out in the morning. So all of those really small things that I have let fall to the wayside for the last year and a half between Zoom school, business and life and the podcast. I mean, we have a million excuses for why we don't do stuff, right? And at the end of the day, like, we only get one shot at this. So we may as well go make it a fucking good one and stop being so caught up in this rat race.
Yep, I agree.
There's no point to make a ton of money if you're not going to use it for something awesome, you know, like.
Which is why my husband quit his job.
I always think about what legacy are you going to leave? Like, nobody cares about how much money's left in your account that you didn't spend when you die. Like, they care about, like, you know, who were you as a person and what did you do and how did you run your business? You know, like, if you think about what you want your business to be and how you want it to operate, and you let that drive your daily decisions, you're gonna change the way that you market yourself and what you want people to see and what you do and your habits. So I think that's something that's huge too, that I would make sure that you remember, is that it's a much bigger thing than just the money. It 150% is, you know, about what you do with it when you have it and how you help people and what you do afterward.
Right. Well, and I think too, like, we get so caught up as real estate agents in this like $1 million listing persona, right? And like, people try so hard to be someone they're not, and all that pressure, right? Like, all the pressure of having to be like this certain type of way. Be yourself, be authentic, be who you are, show up with your crazy hair and your yoga pants, because that's who you are as a person. And the right people are always going to come into your world. And when you're attracting the right people into your world, the business side of it is way more fun when shit hits the fan or when things go wrong, because you're with people who you want to be with and who you can be your authentic self with, versus a persona that you've created and crafted and isn't even trustworthy because it's not you.
Yeah. So Denzel Washington said this a couple of years ago. You will never see a hearse pulling a U-Haul trailer. Let that sink in. What we're doing now, we're most likely not going to see on the other end. So live for the moment. Yeah, you're making all this money. Live for the moment and do it in a healthy way too. You know, like Eric and I are partners with my husband, and I have to get away. Like, there's times when I'm calling my friends up and I'm like, look, I got to go to dinner. I need to go get some drinks. I need to get away from Eric. I need to get away from the business, because Eric and I are in business together and we're constantly talking about it. So I have to get away from it. So find your niche, find what makes you happy and do it. If knitting makes you happy, if reading a book makes you happy, if running, going to the gym, going to CrossFit, going out with your girlfriends and laughing and drinking makes you happy, then do that. Do that once a week. Do that once a month. Do that twice a week. Do it. Stop putting business first. That sounds crazy to say, but stop. Put your mental health first and the business will come.
Your mental health in your life. Again,
all right, guys.
We only get one shot at this, so go live your life.
Yeah. Well, Patty left a comment, and Patty's one of my clients.
Hold on, I'm gonna post it up real quick. There we go. Can you see it all?
So Patty makes like handmade cards, and they're incredible. So I will actually probably have Patty make some of my cards for my clients because she's way better at it than I am. But yeah, it's not just about selling a home. Like Patty in particular, like, you know, got married a couple weeks ago, and I made the bouquet for her wedding. Like, you know, it's not just, you're not just a realtor, you know, it's much more than that. And if you take it seriously and you treat it that way, you're never gonna have to worry about where your money's gonna come from and how you're gonna feed your family. So
exactly. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Unless people want to pop in and ask some questions or have any concerns, that's all I got. Anybody else?
If anybody leaves questions and we get them after the fact, we'll answer them on the page probably. Or if worst case scenario, we'll answer them next week.
Well, and another thing too, if you guys don't want to ask a question now and you want to do it in a private message, you guys can private message us on each of our Facebook pages or go to the Homegirls page and ask it there. We're here for you. You could message us whenever, and we'll be happy to help you out. So.
Or if you need an accountability partner, you can always message us.
There you go. All right, guys.
All right, guys, have a great day.
Bye, guys.